And welcome back to the Press Start Podcast. I'm your host, Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin', and this is episode number 22. And of course, I'm joined today by my amazing co host, Roger.
That's how you doing today?
And this week, we are joined by our special guest and also my teammate now, Shoot to Win, Meech.
What's popping, y'all? How y'all doing today?
What's going on? So, Roger, man, let's get right into it. What you been playing?
Well, as you know, since you've been playing with me, we've been playing a bunch of ranked Valorant the past 2 weeks here,
Hmm.
and finally got back up to silver. Got everyone else in bronze now, so hoping we can keep everyone there and not fall back down to iron.
Right.
I remember those days, dog.
Uh,
Iron and bronze is cancer in that game. It's one of the hardest ranks because nobody knows how to play the game. But then there's these people who just come in to trounce on kids who are like plat
Yeah.
or diamond.
Oh yeah,
So,
sure.
it's just it was the worst down there in those ranks. But I started playing God of War, the one for PS4, the original one in the frigid north setting.
Mm,
And honestly, I think this game is an amazing game. Like I can see why it won the awards it did.
mm.
It's seriously an amazing game. I think it's one of the best PS4 games I think I've played in a long time.
This is the first time you played God of War?
First time I played any God of War. I never, because the original God of Wars I never really got to play because at the time my parents were pretty stringent about
Oh,
things
copy.
on the
Yeah.
PS2. It wasn't until I got on Xbox that they were like, yeah, you can play M-rated games.
You have this story. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm super
Uh,
excited because I'm excited for the new one too. I haven't even played the newest one recently, and I have
Oh,
it like we talked about in previous episodes. But I'm definitely excited to check them out. But what about you, Mish? What you been playing lately?
oh my god. So I've literally just been playing like Warzone here and no, mostly Warzone Apex. I'm playing like Apex ranked as of recently. It's real toxic as all hell. Like it's toxic.
isn't
It's
every
like
shooter game?
it really but I've been actually like Apex has like this arena mode. I don't know if y'all play like the Apex arena.
Yeah,
Like I
I've
actually
checked it
been
out.
yeah, I actually like that one a lot better because like it's a lot fast paced. Like get to the point like you buy your gun, you shoot them, and you're done. Like I actually been liking that a lot more. Now I've been playing like a few betas. Like I played the Halo beta, the Battlefield beta, and the Call of Duty beta too.
Yeah, of course, and we got the Call of Duty impressions blog up on our site, and the Halo one will be coming soon, and hopefully we'll get a Battlefield one up in the coming weeks as well. But what we got here? So yeah, me and myself, man, I've been playing. Obviously, like Roger was alluding to, I've been playing a lot of Valorant, a lot of fucking Valorant. And then in my downtime when I'm trying to play other games, I've just been focusing on one. It's been Biomutant. I'm trying to get through that game, beat that one, so I can get that game review up. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a nice game. It's very underrated. It has a it's not great, but I don't think it's bad either. It has a solid story. It's definitely unique, and I really enjoy it. I can't wait to beat it. It definitely has me on like, damn. I'm trying to keep going. I'm trying to progress through the story because I want to save the world or whatever you're kind of doing, and I don't want to spoil nothing on the show because it's a newer game, so most people probably haven't even checked it out yet.
Would you play it again? Like as far as you are now, would you be like, damn, I'm gonna play this all over again?
I don't do that with any games, no matter how good it
Oh,
is. Once
oh
I beat a
really?
game, I don't go back and beat it again. The only time I've really ever did that, honestly, was probably Halo. I've done that with
Mhm.
Halo like thousands of times, and Halo was probably the only game that I went through and beat multiple times.
Not Grand Theft Auto either.
I never even played a single Grand Theft Auto game in my life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
I've checked it out like the
uh,
multiplayer like before, but I've never
Yeah.
played it for the story. But yeah, no, let's move on here. We got a bunch of gaming topics in. Since we didn't have an episode last week, we have a lot to get into. So we're gonna start off here with an Activision update. They were just recently sued by the EEOC for, and they settled a lawsuit immediately as soon as this happened for $18 million. Roger, what's your thoughts on this? Since I know you've been following this lately.
well, my big thing was people were complaining about how there's very really it seemed like such a small number, a paltry sum really for how much Activision Blizzard's really worth. And sadly, with the lawsuits that they were coming under and being sued by the EEOC, there's a cap on what you're allowed to sue for. And so they kind of just settled for the max amount and said, "Here you go, let's just get this done." They knew they were already at fault. They paid the
Oh,
full amount of the fees that they were
absolutely.
being sued for, and they were just like, "Yep, have a good day, bye."
Oh, absolutely. They knew what they were doing was wrong.
Yeah,
It was over for them. And as quickly as they got it, like, to be like, all right, we just gonna just pass you his money. That just shows like they really like they. I don't feel like they don't really care, to be honest, because like they just were so quick to give the money off and just say, that's nothing to offer my skin. It's okay.
Well, in really the way they're trying to make a difference now is they're removing scantily clad armor in WoW. They've changed pictures of scantily clad women to be bowls of fruit now.
I
They've
seen that. I seen that.
Oh, I
they're like,
missed that one.
be careful. People were complaining about how the RP server and everyone on the RP server Moonguard in Goldshire, like
Hmm.
all the women that are dancing on tables and all the RP they're doing, everyone's gonna be replaced with fruit in there. So get done. They're
Oh my
replacing the
god.
tavern with a fruit market.
But I
It's a
Sounds
giant
feel
silly.
joke, really.
oh,
Yeah,
most
it's
definitely. But I definitely feel like though that they should do a little bit more than just do that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like this goes deeper than
yeah.
that.
I really feel as though this is the wrong approach because the game isn't the problem. It's the developers, it's the staff, it's the
Yeah.
workforce, the people
It's the
running the company
corporation.
are the
Yeah.
problem. I don't care if you have dirty jokes. Everyone loves a good dirty joke. Everyone loves a good dirty joke. I'm sorry, but like at the same time is really removing some of the joke lines or some of the oh, we've removed the slash spits and now you can't spit on your on other people in the game. It's like
Who
is
gives a
that
fuck?
really is
Whoa!
that solved everything? The sexual harassment just got wiped away by removing the slash spit emote. It's like
Oh yeah,
it's
Yeah.
most definitely.
It's just like when Call of Duty was doing that too, where they had to remove like one of the emotes too because it was, I don't know, it was like related or somehow related because some bad group of people used that certain emote before, and they were
Mhm.
like, "Oh no, they're."
well like the OK symbol became a hate crime symbol, and it's
I think
like
that's the one that they had to remove was the OK
yeah,
symbol, and I'm like,
if you had OK, it was a hate crime symbol all of a sudden because a hate group used it. They were like, oh, so now you can't use this because that's hate crime. What? No, this means okay. I'm sorry.
I'm
You
okay. I'm okay with having this symbol.
I learned I learned diving. Like I'm certified to dive, and like this is a symbol you give to people when because you can't talk to them underwater. This is a symbol. Now I'm a hate crime guy, I guess.
We got
God,
to sue you immediately.
Oh, it's silly. It's outrageous.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
my
feel like
personal.
no,
Uh,
go ahead, go ahead, you good.
but yeah, my personal thoughts with this, yeah, I do agree. 18 million is nothing. I feel like this is just one of those tactics of trying to sweep it under the rug. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here we're gonna act like we got sued, but $18 million to Activision Blizzard is a slap on the wrist. That's nothing.
Oh yeah.
They're
No,
gonna make that up
absolutely.
in like a month, easily.
If
So
that.
right, so it's just like they got to do more. Like, I hope they continue the investigation
Well,
because there's a lot more to this than even what meets
well,
the eye.
and they're worth 71.6 billion. So this is less than a half a percent. Less than a
Yeah.
half a percent of their net worth. Oh, yep. We sexually harassed women and then did a bunch of law breaking, shredded documents
Hmm.
and all this stuff and did all these terrible things that are against the law and all we lose is 18 million. That's cool.
But I
Sh-
really feel like what they should do is like the people that's been like accused or whatever, they should really be looking into those people and like either send them to like I don't want to call like sensitive training, but
Sensitivity training.
yeah, yeah, yes. I won't say it's like that, but send them like classes like that because that's
D-
clearly what
Does
the
it really
problem is.
work though? It doesn't. It feels like it doesn't work. The problem at hand is
you got
if
bad
you
people
can't
in the wrong places.
yeah if
Hmm.
you can't be responsible, then what's the point? I
Hmm.
get it's your company, but if you're gonna do things that are clearly against worker rights, then you don't deserve to be in charge anymore.
You
I
hit the
think at
nail
this
on the
point,
head.
yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. So yeah, enough of bad news though for now until we get to the end of this our segments for today. Moving on here, so Xbox added a new very welcoming feature. I think something that's going to be the future of gaming, at least on the Xbox, is Dolby Vision is being enabled on Xbox Series X and S. Meech, were you able to look into this new feature yet at all, or are you
Yeah,
willing to
yeah, I
try it?
do. I'm always want to try anything. Like, let's see how it looks, but I really don't feel like that's something we need right now because with the way the world's going, like you have your PCs, I don't think that's something that should be added onto a console. To be honest, because if you add that to a console, I feel like you're going to either get a better TV or you have to get some so your content can actually use that feature. I feel like.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. There's only a select few TVs that can support this, just like Dolby Atmos that's been on the
Mhm.
Xbox even during last gen. And I mean, I think it's a great feature. It's basically a enhanced premium version of HDR, and we all know how HDR can be. HDR can be here, it can be here, it can be at the
Yep.
bottom. Like HDR can be done really well, and I think Adobe, or not, geez, Adobe, Dolby can do this really well if it's implemented correctly. But this is not going to be a feature for the everyday user. This like I said, it's going to be a premium user that wants this, and I think it looks really well. A lot of the games that do support it that I've seen look good with it. I can see the comparison in the videos, and I'm like, okay, it adds a little bit more color. Blacks are blacker, whites are not as like overly
Yeah.
exposed and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But what's your thoughts on this, Roger?
So I think the whole Dolby Vision thing is going to be really good because we're dealing with oh, I know the COD beta dealt with this. Light and sort of the reflections and glares being an
Mhm.
issue within games. Dolby Vision is going to help with that. That's going to be able to take a lot of this light filtering and kind of tone it down. Like, yeah, we want realistic lighting, but it's sometimes, do we really want it to be so in our face that everything's whitewashed now? All the colors are bled. It it really helps to tone up those colors. And if you go to Dolby, their website, they can kind of give you an example of what it should look like. And then if you go and Google it and look it up through articles, it helps to step the color bleeding and the light filtration. It with the bright lights in your face, it helps to cut them down so you can actually see the image more clearly.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely agree. And right now, it's supported on the Xbox Series X and S for more than 100 next gen HDR titles, and apparently, it's in addition to thousands of classic games that have HDR10 and auto HDR games. So that's like most of their backwards
Mhm.
compatibility list. Basically, all have this new enhancement. So I mean, it's pretty cool to see this, but again, I think it's like Roger was saying, it's going to be very helpful for a lot of games, especially Call of Duty is a great example because Meech,
Mhm.
you know that was a big issue that we talked about in
Oh yeah.
our impression article, that it's the visuals in that game. It was hard as shit to even see anybody. Like I like
Oh.
realism, but Call of Duty
Mhm.
is a sandbox game. It's meant for me to have fun, but I want it to look good. But I got to be able to see people. Otherwise, it's not going to be enjoyable for me because I'm not
You ain't
playing up
lying.
close and personal on a TV like this trying to play the game. You know, like
Yeah.
I like to play on a nice 55-inch TV, or if I want to play on the
55.
monitors, yeah, I go big or go home.
Oh, yo, man, dog.
But yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think it's gonna be very useful. But I think it'll be a feature that's not gonna be for everybody, at least for the next couple of years, because most
But
people aren't
Definitely.
going to be
it's
able to
going to
get
be
those
so
TVs.
expensive.
Yeah, I mean, the
It's
TV
going to be
alone
way
is
too
expensive.
expensive. Yeah,
Mhm.
so and don't get me wrong, this definitely it is night and day difference. Well, with it being all
Yeah,
about
yeah.
light, it is really night and day difference
Mhm.
because it looks so beautiful to remove all that extra color and really get the base color and then mesh the best colors of every tone together to get a perfect image. It looks amazing. So
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it and I hope to see it on computer as well here soon.
I
Like,
hope that like when Call of Duty, when I was playing like the Call of Duty beta, like the one like major problem that like I would say that that game had at the time was like the colors and like the sunlight. Like it's crazy as it sound, but the sunlight was like so bright in my face. And it's like a whole glare, like a real life glare in your face. And I'm like any corner you like you had to turn a certain corner and the sun just be right in your face. I'm like, damn, like that's so bright for no reason. Like
Maybe they can add a feature where you can put on sunglasses in the game. How
that'd be
like you can
dope.
do with the night vision goggles. You remember
That'd
that
be so.
feature with the night vision goggles and like
Oh
COD
yeah,
4 or
yeah,
whatever, or new Modern Warfare, you could put them on.
yeah.
It changes the whole view of the map and shit like that. It made it easier to see because the dark maps that were in like COD 4, like the ship map,
yeah.
it was hard to
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
enemies because it was dark and the enemies were dark. Boop! Now I can see them. That'd be pretty
No,
cool to see with the
that was definitely
sunglasses.
dope.
That would take immersion to a whole nother level.
Oh my goodness, of course.
But moving on here along the lines of Xbox, they did announce some updates to Game Pass. They announced three big titles recently over the past couple of weeks: Marvel's Avengers, Scarlet Nexus, and Astria Ascending. So, given that I played Marvel's Avengers, and everybody knows that I strongly dislike that game because it was
So
just a very
wild.
it was a very poorly put together game. It was a copy and paste game. The story was okay. The characters didn't look like who we know them to look like. It was
Hmm.
just kind of weird to experience. But that's another thing. But I wondered if this will bring life back into this game. It has the new expansion with the Wakanda Forever
Hmm.
expansion. Do you guys think that this will potentially go back up? on the charts at all,
Mm,
or is it just not going
not
to
at
go
all.
anywhere?
I don't think it's
No.
going to move on the charts, period. I think it's staying where it is. The game performed how it did, and reviewers aren't going to go back to it just because it's on Xbox Game Pass now. But I think the community will probably get reinvigorated for all of a week.
Yeah, I can respect that because I'm not like first time I played it like was maybe like last week Saturday. It was like a Saturday night. Larry played it for like I'll say like good like 3 hours. I haven't touched it since. It's not bad. It's honestly not bad game. Out of five, I'll give it like a solid three. It's decent enough to where like if it was just us three, and like we're just sitting here drinking bored. Oh yeah, let's just play it just for the story
That's actually something
bullshit.
I'm curious about. I've never did was play that game with other people. I played it strictly solo through the entire game. So I wonder how it
Nah,
is playing with other people.
if you play it, because like since it's quiet, like if you play with your friends and like you guys just have fun with it, it's definitely one of those games. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick this Marvel's Avengers up and sit here and play. Like I'm trying to say I'm not playing it unless I have friends play with me. I'm being honest.
Right. So Roger, what's your thoughts on the other two titles that were announced at the Tokyo Game Show?
So Scarlet Nexus, very, very impressed with it coming to Game Pass here. It looks like an awesome game. I've only heard good things from people. One of my friends who I trust their opinion highly on some of these JRPGs. They're really into it. They really love it. So I'm glad to see that now for those people who didn't want to buy it originally can now try the game out or play the whole game on Game Pass and I probably will pick it up now.
It
Yeah.
reminds you of Genshin Impact. My fault, Vic. I'm gonna cut
No,
you
no, go
off.
ahead, keep going. I'm looking
I
some
was saying
stuff
it
up anyway.
definitely reminds you. I don't know if you heard of Genshin Impact, but
Hmm.
that's
Well,
the
we all have.
vibe. All right, that's the vibe it definitely gives me. Like it reminds you of Genshin Impact.
No, yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. And yeah, I mean, like, if this is one of those JRPGs that probably went under people's radar, it's
Hmm.
it's going to be in Game Pass. And what Game Pass does is the discoverability that you have at your hands with that feature is going to be great because you can play it on
Hmm.
PC, I believe, and Xbox. And I mean, it's on the PlayStation consoles as well. So,
Hmm.
which is already going to get more exposure because the PlayStation and Nintendo are big over in the Japanese market and the Chinese market and whatnot over there. So it's just like to see this come now to Game Pass will further experience that for not only the West, but I think this might be a way to draw in more attention from the East market, like Japan and whatnot, to play on Xbox. Because if they have more and more Japanese or JRPGs on Game Pass, it might be
Hmm.
more enticing for them to want to subscribe, want them to get an Xbox, whether even if it's just the Series S. Maybe your main console is that PS5, and having that Xbox Series S, that was why that console was made to compete. To be that secondary console, it's not supposed to be your main console. So I'm
True.
definitely excited. I do want to check that out, and I'm not. And Roger knows I'm not big into JRPGs, but this is one of those games when it was announced, I was like,
Hmm.
that art style looks good.
Now, I feel like with JRPGs, like a lot of them, like the art style and how like they animate the game and how they do like certain things, like, I feel like it's really dope because it's like really different. Like I like looking at the gameplay like a little bit before when you had told me about it. Like I'll give it a try, but I promise you it's probably gonna take me like at least a good year to beat it because I'm about to give it a. I'm gonna give it like I'm gonna play it for a couple hours. Some's gonna piss me off. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm done. Catch you in like 6 months or so.
Uh, I can see where you're coming from because there are some games where I get like that, but I also it also comes down to like like how good the story is. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because like I think that's really important when it. But looking it up here on like howlongtobeat.com, it says it takes about 25 to 35 hours to beat. So I could see where it could take you a long time to beat it if you're not going to invest the time into it.
Oh, most
Yeah,
definitely.
it's a JRPG. It's a story-driven combat
Hmm.
game,
Hmm.
really. So you're gonna be investing over 20 hours into it, easy.
Right. But moving on here to another topic here with Xbox, they did announce the games that came out obviously 10 days ago. Games of Gold. They announced Ario, Hoover, Castlevania, Harmony of Despair, and Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Do any of these games like stand out to you, or have you guys played any of them? I'm gonna start with you, Meech.
Hoover, it definitely reminds me of Jet Set Radio. Like,
Hmm.
it definitely reminds you of Jet Set Radio. Um, Seeing how that I played Jet Set Radio, would I give it a try? Possibly. Castlevania. Never was too big into Castlevania. Like I know a lot of people used to talk about it all the time, and like this game is so great, and I'm like, I never was really able to get into it like whatsoever.
Mhm.
I gave it a try way back in the day, but that's not something I'm not going to look into.
Right. And what about you, Roger?
So I'm interested to see why they brought a Resident Evil game from the Dreamcast to Xbox. Um, is there a reason why they brought this old game? Was it a highly rated game? I don't know. Castlevania, this is from 2010, so it feels like another Microsoft tactic where, games with gold isn't really new games. And that's fine because that's what Game Pass is there for. I feel like games with gold at this point is just trying to get us some old games or cheap games or indie games, really. And
Right.
that's what we got with Arrow and Hoover Hover. Um that game is really just they're indie games, small
Hmm.
studio games, and then for big studios we got some older ones. The Castlevania game. I know Castlevania is a big series. I don't know if this one was one of the big games for them, but it didn't do well based on reviews. So
Hmm. Yeah, and I think the reasoning behind adding Castlevania to it could be in parts to another segment that we're going to get into here in a little bit, because there could be another Castlevania in the works, potentially. So we'll dive into that soon. But looking up Resident Evil Code Veronica is it got a 71% on Metacritic and it's a 94% liked this video on Google users. So it's not a bad game, but it's also not a great game. But it seems like it's a pretty solid game, and
it's an okay
people.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely decent.
and especially coming from the Dreamcast, I mean, I think it's a game where like if you really enjoyed like the recent two games, 7 and 8, that most kids may have missed all these games because they weren't even born yet or 2 years old, 1 years old, or
Yeah,
whatever. So they're just bringing all the games to the forefront, and they're just making like what we're talking about all the time. Their preservation on video games, keeping them games alive, providing life to them, whether they're 10, 15 years old. Go play the game. You made this game you may have missed. Go check it out now. It's free if you have Gold or Game Pass Ultimate. So that's pretty cool to see. But moving on here to their competition here, PlayStation Plus games for October. You got Hell Let Loose, Mortal Kombat 10, and PGA 2K21. Now this lineup looks a lot better to me than I think the Xbox lineup is. But
absolutely.
which one of these games do you think stick out the most to you, Roger?
So Mortal Kombat X is a little old at this point. It's not super old, but it's not like a recent game. Hell Let Loose is the one that really surprises me here. Hell Let Loose feels like kind of a throwback to Mag, one of the original PS3 games that was huge.
We were talking about that today, Meech.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Hell Let Loose is like Mag. It's a giant simulator game where it's huge combats, 50 on 50 games, and that one to me, I didn't realize Hell Let Loose had left the PC and gone to console, and now that it's free on console, this is definitely one of those games that's growing in popularity, but it's not huge. And I think with this could really put that over, and I believe that this game also is crossplay.
cool.
Yeah, that's crazy because we were talking pre-stream and you were explaining what Hell Let Loose was, and I was just like, oh wow. I was like, I don't even remember this game even being announced, to be honest with you. And this came out back in 2019, and it looks pretty good. I mean, I love shooter games, so it's set in what, World War II, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, he said World War II.
World War II
Yeah,
simulator.
yeah. So I mean, everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of World War II, so that's probably where I'd be like, maybe not. But you know me, everybody knows I'm always down to try something,
Oh,
especially.
of course.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Mortal Kombat 10 was released back in 2015, so that was odd to see them bring that back to life.
2015.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long already. It's been
Oh
six
my
years.
goodness.
It's
Because
been
we
a
were talking
while.
about this game today too. Because
Yeah,
what Jay was talking about how he went to one of the conferences and you guys got to try Mortal Kombat 10
yeah. He's talking about he went
before
to PAX
before it was
East.
released, and that was pretty cool. But that was 6 years ago now.
That's wild. When you said Mortal Kombat, X, I'm like, damn, that shit came out like 2-4 years ago. Damn, it's been a while. Damn. And I
Right.
remember when I was first playing that too. I was getting my ass beat that that time too.
Right. Right. But the other game though that we didn't even talk about yet was the PGA game. I'm not really big into golf, but I heard a lot of the 2K PGA games actually have been getting
Not
better over the
nothing on
past couple
Mario
years.
Golf.
I know
Not
it's
nothing on
nothing on Mario
Mario.
Golf. I
Nothing
enjoyed that
on
when I came
Mario
over.
Golf, my man.
But no, I
PGA
think
is definitely solid.
right. So yeah, comparing the games like the free games that you get with your month, depending on your subscription that you got here, I would say I would give it to PlayStation again. PlayStation's lineup has been more solid for these free games than Xbox, but Xbox has been more about bringing games from the past and giving them another life and taking these indie games that may have been just never even seen before and giving them more discoverability, just like they're doing with Game Pass. So I
Yeah.
see the two business models that they have going on there. But sticking along the lines here, PlayStation, a PlayStation Classic, man, which I actually was seeing all over at the Too Many Games conference that we went to today, was Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal is apparently in production. This is all rumors and stuff right now, and it's supposed to be coming back. Roger, were you a fan of Twisted Metal back in the day on the PlayStation One?
I never got to play Twisted Metal.
Oh my
Never,
god.
never played it.
Oh my god. You missing out on a lot,
That
dog.
was GTA before GTA, I think, but in a weird way.
Well, GTA really came out at the same time, the original one. So
Oh, the one that where they had the camera above your head and whatnot.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
Okay, copy.
but yeah, Twisted Metal looks fun. But what's your take on it, Meech?
Eh, I think we're at that time where like it's gonna be more for nostalgia. Honestly, it's not gonna be one of those games that like, oh damn, try and play me online and twist around. Like no one's doing that. I might cop it just to like just to play it just because like it's another Twisted Metal. I played it way back in the day. You know what I mean? But I'm not
Mhm.
gonna say and say like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, let me play this with my friends online type. Maybe once or twice, but it's not gonna be something that's gonna be on my list to play to its entirety.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just one of those nostalgia factor. We're in that time period right now in gaming where it's about remakes, remasters, bringing games
Mhm,
forwards. Let's revive an IP that was been dormant for a while because right now it's just a nostalgia factor. Whether it's re-releasing old consoles again, like the mini ones, or like I
mhm,
said with the remakes or remasters. So yeah, I agree. I dabbled in Twisted Metal a little bit back in the day on the PS1. It was fun. It was definitely different. I don't know
mhm.
how it would pair up
It's
to.
not gonna hit the same though.
Right. It might be one of those games that just gets okay. It was cool for a
Mhm,
week. Moving on to the next game. But speaking about moving on here, um, to some other games that are apparently in the works here, we got Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and Castlevania, which I mentioned earlier. Konami is apparently working on these games. This is all again rumored, but I think this is exciting news. But I am worried about Metal Gear being made because without having Kojima involved, because
yeah,
I know what was it Metal Gear Solid 5 made with Kojima. I'm not
yeah.
100% on that one.
I think that
Was that
was the
his last
last
one?
one.
But
I think so.
when they made
No?
I don't
that,
think so. He left at that point, I think.
Really?
but
Oh
I know
no.
that when they made like Metal Gear Survival or something like that, that was a pretty
Mhm,
garbage Metal Gear game, and that was
mhm.
definitely made without Kojima. So I'm definitely worried. But Roger, are you looking forward to any of these new games, whether it's Metal Gear, Silent Hill, or Castlevania?
I never played Silent Hill. Metal Gear 5
You
was.
never played Silent Hill?
Hey man, I told you before. I didn't really
Oh,
have M-rated games until I got on the Xbox,
oh my
years
goodness.
later. Yeah. And then I never went back for them at that point because I just didn't really care for horror games. I like
Mhm.
horror games a little bit more nowadays, especially games where I can, kill the things that are trying to kill me.
Copy,
But
yeah, yeah.
Except Phasmophobia.
Metal Gear, yeah, like Phasmophobia, yeah, except Phasmophobia is that one. Like Metal Gear though, Metal Gear 5 was okay. It didn't really it was fun. It was kind of like a giant meme, but it kind of felt
Mhm,
copy pasted where it was like, okay, go do this mission again. Go do this mission again. Go redo this. Go redo this. And then you were like, oh, now I need to go collect all these goods. So you'd have to redo missions so you get all the resources and supplies. And I felt like the playability of the game really relied on repetitive copy pasted. You
Hmm.
just had to redo the same things over and over again. And I was just like, this is getting boring.
Hmm.
And Castlevania, I know a friend of mine who's really into Castlevania. He'd be happy to hear about this, but like I'm more of a Metroid fan.
Right,
I
which we
actually
just
think
yeah.
got.
I'm gonna end up yeah, I'm thinking I might get Metroid Dread because I just got the last Metroid game, which was a remake of the original, and
Mhm.
I had tons of fun on it. So I think I might get that one, but I'm not a Castlevania fan. I was never really into Castlevania.
Okay, yeah, I definitely never
Mhm.
played any of the Castlevania games, and I don't really remember too much with Silent Hill. I just know it's like a cult classic. I know that, and then the whole one that was being made recently with um, Kojima was supposed to be involved with that one. It was supposed to have Norman Reedus star as the main character, who ends up being the main character in Death Stranding. Funny enough, because he was just like, all right, cool, come with me. We got a good connection going on here. But circling back to Metal Gear Solid 5, it's actually one of the better games as of late. It's been has a 93 Metacritic and it has an 8.2 out of 10. So that's a pretty solid score, I would say. But I definitely know what
Yeah,
you mean. Where some games feel copy and pasted, and just it
it
just feels like
feels
you're
like
just
the
doing
Ubisoft. You
right
get
the
the Ubisoft
Ubisoft,
treatment.
right.
They're like, go here, do this. Go here, do this. Go here, do
It's just
this.
like
It's
a
like,
whole list of tasks that have no
yeah,
meaning,
yeah.
which sucks. But I'm excited to see that these games come back because they are cult classics and to see what they can do in the modern day era with all this new technology and whatnot. But we'll see. It's been a while since we got any of those games. But moving on to a game that is successful is Call of Duty. No matter how bad the game is, it is always successful. But
Mhm.
Zombies DLC 4 was just recently released, and the map is called Forsaken. Roger, were you able to look into this map at all? Because I'm looking forward to
Nope.
checking it out here soon.
I'm going in blind whenever we can go in and play it. I don't want to spoil it. I'll play through it once or twice, then I'll think about doing the Easter egg and looking up how to do it.
Okay.
it I've been loving the Call of Duty maps for zombies. Really is what saved Cold War.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
Ooh,
don't
I
get me
believe
wrong,
it.
the campaign was okay. I enjoyed
Mhm.
the ending, but like, zombies is what was really there for me. I didn't play the multiplayer much.
Yeah, the multiplayer was
Ooh,
pretty garbage.
we was just talking
We
about that
just
shit
talking about
today.
yeah, the
Like,
multiplayer was so garbage this year, and I'm stressing about Vanguard because I want Call of Duty to be fun. Like I enjoyed
mhm,
Modern Warfare 2019 a lot, and I invested a lot of time into that. So I'm excited to see Vanguard, especially with the new Champion Hill mode, and then what they're doing with the different versions of the multiplayer that you can get into with like the Blitz and the Assault and just changing the speed up of the game. So that'll be pretty
mhm,
cool. But yeah, Zombies though looks exciting. From the trailer and stuff, I've been trying to refrain myself from looking at too much, but I always love looking at that kind of stuff because I follow a lot of YouTubers that post videos like every day about do this, do
mhm.
that. I've been like, no, I can't watch these. I'm trying to go in blind. But yeah, definitely, Roger. We'll have to plan a day here soon. I'll hit up Al and see if he wants to run it with us as well for sure because it's always fun. But Meech, were you a fan of Zombies at all this year or with Cold War?
Listen, I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. After Black Ops 2, never played zombies a day in my life after that.
Oh, that might be worse than Roger never playing Silent Hill ever.
What? Nah. Black Ops 2 Zombies was probably the best. I've seen all of them. Like I seen and followed all of them. But I felt Black Ops 2 story, the Easter egg, how they did everything was probably the best one. I feel like.
I
Like them
Yeah, I understand what you're going for there.
like I feel like the zombies, like after you had to like unlock this and you have to unlock that and then go to different dimensions and all that extra stuff, I wasn't into. Like it killed me at that point.
I'm
Fair.
not gonna lie. I think Black Ops 2 did have a solid lineup of maps too, because that's when we had Transit, we had Nuketown
Yes.
Zombies, we had Die Rise. That was like on the skyscrapers, and you were jumping back and forth. You had
Mm-hmm.
the Green Run, the diner. That was
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
Transit. You had Alcatraz. That was out when Alcatraz was introduced.
Mm-hmm.
And then Buried. Buried was really cool map with the haunted mansion, and then that big dude that would go around and open up different parts of the map for you if you triggered him to do the right stuff.
Yep.
And then ending it with Origins. Man,
It was
there was
great.
a lot of fucking good maps in Black Ops 2. I definitely agree, but um, yeah, I'm excited to check out this new map though. It looks pretty cool, and it's going to end this whole storyline. But I think it might potentially open up like because Zombies continues in with Vanguard with the main storyline that we're dealing with now, just I guess back in time or however they're going to do it. So it'd be pretty cool to see how this all
Yeah.
gets tied in, honestly. But moving on here to another Call of Duty with season 6 though, just coming out. Mish, what's your thoughts on season 6 so far? Have you checked it out yet?
Warzone.
All of it. No matter what. Was
Oh,
it Warzone multiplayer?
okay.
Because I know they got the original Gulag is back. They fucked up the map a little bit. What's your
Nah,
take on it?
Gulag was dope. Multiplayer, didn't care for it. I didn't care for multiplayer on this Call of Duty. Can't fucking
Hmm.
talk. Because like when I played it, like I wasn't into it. To be completely honest, like I really tried, but the maps I didn't like it. and I didn't like how the spawn system were in the maps
Hmm.
and the guns. When they brought in the Cold War guns, it fucked up everything, in my opinion. Like the Cold War guns, like all pistol, especially in Warzone, because like that's mostly what I play, and like all the Cold War guns in Warzone, like they just are the death of me. I hate it all, hate it all.
No,
Like
yeah,
people think I'm weird, but like I really hate Cold War guns. Like it's the absolute worst. So like I'm hoping when Vanguard drops that they'll take out the Cold War guns, so we can have like Vanguard and Modern Warfare, and just have those guns alone. I hope anyway.
right. That'd be nice. And I'm putting up here on screen here. I'll go ahead and cover my face. This is this kind of like the breakdown of the new season that came out. They got a couple new maps for multiplayer, three new ones, and of course they got zombies that bring it back. PhD flopper, but they're calling it slider since you don't dive anymore. They got the Crystal X Wonder Weapon, basically the RCXD card, but in zombies. And of course they added the hand cannon into zombies. New event coming out. They like I said, they destroyed a lot of the map. They're bringing back the original Gulag, World War II bunkers, so that's going to be the whole tie-in to Vanguard,
Yep.
and some new operators, new weapons. They got a bunch of new weapons from the 410 hot Ironhide, the Grav, the Battle Axe, the Lapa, and the Hammer and Sickle, and of course a bunch of pretty cool looking skins. But nonetheless, that it looks pretty cool. I'm excited to see. I love Call of Duty's creativity and just what they can do, and I hope they continue to make great content even with Vanguard. Because if Vanguard is going to be fun, I hope they have a really good supply of content. Because
Hmm.
that's what keeps me going. Like if we got this same flow of content that we have now back on Modern Warfare 3, I
Oof.
I would have fucking been in heaven. I
Oof.
would have been in heaven. I would have quit all sports and focused on Call of Duty a lot more, honestly.
Because I feel like nowadays, but I feel like also with the content that they're dropping, a lot of it, I feel like they're just like they're trying to see what everyone else is doing. For example, Fortnite, like some of the costumes you could tell that they were like, all right, Fortnite's doing something, let's say goofy or whatever. Let's try and match that and see if we could,
Mhm.
multiply it. Because in one skin they have like a panda. I'm an adult. I'm not trying to say look like a damn panda or look at my enemy. He's a damn panda. I'm shooting him. Like I like some of the skins. Like I'm not gonna hold,
Right,
but I don't want to. I don't. This ain't Fortnite, dog. Like if you're gonna make something decent. Make it something for adults because that's what mostly adults are playing right now. You know what I
right,
mean? Fortnite. I feel like that's just for kids, and Call of Duty should make it more for adults and like older folks. You know what I mean?
right,
Tie it to the audience that it was originally tied to, you
right.
know?
It's an M-rated
Smart.
game. Why are kids playing this?
So hey, you got a point there.
Because somebody has to tell you they fucked your mom, right?
You ain't lying. You are not lying.
Oh
I'm just
man,
saying, dude.
it's like I mean you ain't lying, 100% sure on that
You
one.
ain't lying.
But
While I was playing the Vanguard, people were trash talking, yada yada, all that good stuff. And like I realized I was back in Call of Duty where like I literally coughed. Like not even talk I coughed something coming N word. He said hello N word. I'm like, oh, this is what we're back to again. I was like, damn. This is why my mic stays muted all the time.
no, yeah, for
uh,
sure. But moving
but
on to the Roger, what's your thoughts on it? Actually, I didn't even get
uh,
your thoughts on it.
no, you're good. Call of Duty Season 6, I really played since we kind of
Yeah,
gave it up for Valorant because
yeah,
the game's just been kind
it's
of
super
unfun.
toxic. Yeah.
I mean, I thought Valorant was sweaty, but Jesus Christ, Warzone, some guys need to take a shower. Trust me, dude.
You're not lying. You're not
I'm
lying on that
Wait,
one.
no, you
serious.
can't say that because I'm one of them dudes. Like if
No,
I'm
no,
at the
like,
tournament, like I'm going to kill you, dog.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. The team that we got over at Shoot to Win, man, they're really good. They definitely be winning a lot of tournaments, so that's always good to see. But yeah, man. Moving on here to our the competition of Call of Duty, Battlefield 2042. There's some updates I wanted to cover here. They did announce that you can play its multiplayer. PlayStation, it's not requiring PlayStation Plus, but it's going to require Xbox Gold. Roger, what's your take on this?
I don't know. I think it's kind of Sony's way of keeping people on their console, really.
Boom.
Whereas Xbox, they're just sticking to their original idea. You always need gold if you're going to play online. That's it. Just
You hit the nail on the head.
PlayStation. I think PlayStation wants to transition their service from online play being free to, from paid service to get online to, hey, you can play all your games online for free. And I think they want to move to a service here soon. Like, let's be honest, they bought Crunchyroll, they're partnered with Netflix.
Did not know that Crunchyroll. They
Yep.
Yeah,
bought.
they brought Crunchyroll last month.
Hmm.
Yeah, they bought
Ooh.
Crunchyroll. They partnered with Netflix. Netflix is getting their own gaming service. They're releasing better games. I think they're really trying to make PlayStation Plus a Sony experience. It's you get free
Mhm.
game, you get games with it, you get content with it. It's going to be like having Game Pass, but instead of having to have Game Pass and Xbox Gold, you just have a Sony service, and then you
Mhm.
can play online for free because you bought the console. Because let's be honest,
Yeah.
you've already paid to get on the internet. You've already paid an ISP. You already bought the console. You already bought the game. The game's already they're already paying Sony to have their game out there on a server.
Mhm.
Why is Sony also charging you to then get to that server?
You make a good point. I
You
feel
know,
like though, but I do feel like though, I feel that's gonna kind of, maybe bite them in the ass. Maybe when I say
maybe.
them, I mean Microsoft, because the fact that if Sony's be like, you know what, if I could play this for free over here, why am I paying y'all 10, 30, $40 a month? You
To
know what I
have
mean?
just as terrible of a community. Like, I'll be honest with you. I don't really notice a difference playing an online game between PlayStation and Xbox, really.
Oh yeah.
The
I feel
service is
like
the same. So
I feel
why
like
would I
when it
pay
comes to
10
stuff
bucks to get a free one?
when it comes to stuff like that, I feel like you have to be one of those people that have to really, really sit there and be like, all right, I'm play this Xbox for like 40 hours, play PS5 for 40 hours, and I could tell you the difference. This megapixel here does not match this megapixel on the PS5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I do feel like though Microsoft doesn't like do some stuff like what Sony's doing, they're going to lose a lot of people.
I think it's Sony's way of trying to stay relevant in the current market where Xbox is growing and they're staying the same.
You really think so?
Honestly, I think Xbox has a bigger exponential growth, and in business, growth is better. If you have better growth, who cares? It
You're
doesn't
true.
matter if Sony's still bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft is growing more, so their potential is going to outgrow Sony at some point.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely understand.
Yeah, especially with
So
all the recent acquisitions. Yeah, I hate that fucking word.
acquisition.
Yes. When with all the when they bought all of them, it's just they're adding to their portfolio, and they're going to have like an endless supply of games at all times. Because you
Yeah,
forget that each developer can have multiple teams working on multiple games, not just one game.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have 23 teams times, say, I'll just say give them 2 games per studio.
Mm-hmm.
That's 46 games that you can be releasing in a couple times span. Honestly, it's insane to see. But the circle back to Crunchyroll, yeah, Meech, they bought them. Sony bought them, like Roger said, it was like back in like August of last year, I think, or this year,
Mm-hmm.
for $1 billion. It was definitely a chunk, and definitely one of those
Ooh.
power play just to enhance the. 'Cause I think Sony's going towards that whole media and entertainment business now, where that's what Microsoft was trying to do, and it didn't work. So it'll be
Don't
interesting to
tell
see
me
them.
that.
Sony's
I'll
like
buy a
slap in the
PS5 right.
face.
Don't do that. 'Cause I'll buy a PS5 right tomorrow. Like I really would
I'm
just
already
for
in the
that.
market for one, and
It's
I,
hard.
for me, Sony needs a reason to exist. Microsoft, like, I don't really want to buy an Xbox to be honest, because I got a PC, and almost everything on Xbox is on the PC now.
Right, and I
Ooh,
think Microsoft knows
I
that.
like
Like
that.
that's why they have Game
Yeah.
Pass on
So
PC because they're
yeah,
not.
Mhm.
They know that they have that market in this market.
yeah,
That's
and
what I'm saying. Like
Sony
for you,
doesn't,
it'd be
and
perfect for
Sony
you to
needs a
get
way.
the
Mhm.
Series S. That would be perfect for you to have. Like put it up in the living room or whatever you want. Like you would have another system that you'd be able to rock out with
That's
if you
wild you
wanted
say
that.
that. Cause I literally bought the newest Xbox, like I think like maybe like a month after it came out, a month or two after it came out. I had it in my little like setup that I have. Played it maybe like 3 times, and I bought it for 2K last year. Played 2K from maybe I'll say about like half a month. That Xbox is now in my daughter's room. She
Mhm.
is 11. She watches YouTube on it. And not download games for her. Go have fun. Go play. Because again, like the only time I'm really gonna play with the Xbox if I get 2K again, which I'm probably not. But if I get like a game, but if I get a game like that that's meant strictly for concerts, I'm never gonna. I bought 2K on the PC, didn't like it, but like I'll play it for on the Xbox, so that's a better community in a
Mhm.
sense. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right,
I
but
understand what you're going for there.
circling back here to the main topic at hand, but with Battlefield 2042, their beta is going on. Today's the last day. It started on October 5th. I know, Meech.
Mhm.
I know if you played the beta so far. What's your thoughts? Because I think it's really well, pretty good.
I fucking hated it. Fucking hate it.
Let
I'm gonna
me hear it.
explain
Why?
why. Because all right, so when I loaded it up and everything, I'm like, all right, this decent. Like I went to I forget what the game mode's called, but it's like you just like it was like what you were talking about in the car, like you had the tanks, the
Yeah, it's just a
helicopters, like
big
the
team
all.
battle or
Rush.
whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it's called.
Rush.
so I
I
did
think
that. So I'm
it
like,
was
all right.
Conquest,
Conquest. Okay.
So I'm like,
whatever.
all right, let me just go do that. Get my feet wet. Let me see how this is. Playing it, I get shot my ass. Don't know where this dude is at. Like I'm literally looking, like watching, like him kill me. This man's like laying in the grass. I cannot find this man. I'm like, all right. I'm trying to shoot my gun, and like put my settings up to where I would think when I turn, like move my analysis, I'm moving at a faster rate. I'm still moving slow, and that was like really irritating me. And then like my bullets wasn't registering when I was hitting people, so that really like turned me off from it. Like I know it's a beta, and I really shouldn't be like this hard on it, but like I really couldn't get into it. You know what I mean?
Well, if it's a
Mhm.
beta, it should be good, and that's the
Yeah,
thing. And
yeah.
it's upsetting to hear that, like, yeah, I understand some of the things I chalk up to Battlefield, what you're
Hmm.
talking about, like guy hiding in the grass. You're like, God fucking damn it. Well, the maps
Yeah.
are huge, so it's like sometimes you'll just never see somebody, and a sniper,
Hmm.
2 miles that way is gonna hit you
Yeah.
at the headshot, and you're like, how the fuck do you find me?
Exactly. And it's like, but I will say though, like I'm gonna say because it's the beta, I feel like there's like a lot of shit was just not working.
Mhm.
So I am gonna give it a honest try again. If they maybe drop like a demo for it, I'm gonna actually play the demo and see if I can do. Because I really do not want to pay $60 for a game that I'm not gonna play. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, but there was good things because, like Vic said, like I do agree with. It was either Vic or Jay, but like when you throw the grenade, like you see like the other area that it hit, it was affected. When you shot your gun and hit the wall, you see like it affected the wall and everything.
Mhm.
So I did like that. So I feel like it does have a chance, but I feel like it's not going to be as big as Call of Duty because there's no esports. And if they don't have a battle royale, I feel like that's gonna kill it too. Because I was reading like they're trying to do like a 300. I think it was 300. I may be wrong. There's like 300-man type of battle royale or something
That'd be
along
insane.
those lines. What'd you say, Vic?
I said that would be insane.
Bro, yeah, I'm not playing no shit for 300 people, dog. Like I already get pissed off with Warzone for adding an extra 50 people, but like anything surpassing, I feel like that's you're doing the most. Like there's no reason to have 300 people in a single game.
Yeah.
Like Warzone already takes like what I'll say at least 30 minutes if you make it all the way to the end,
Right.
and that's with like 150. If you add 300, that's like an hour and some shit. I'm not playing no one game for no. You got me fucked up.
I
No.
mean, but there's gonna be so much content in Battlefield. But yeah, we only got like a small pie of what we're gonna get out of this game because we
Mhm.
got the standard Battlefield multiplayer that has tons of game modes, whether it's big team battle or like even coming down to the small like 4-on-4 team deathmatch like Battlefield likes to have. But then they're adding like the hazard zone, which is like a high stakes gameplay. They didn't really talk about it too much. They're just like teasing it like here and there.
Yeah, yeah.
So that'll be pretty cool. And then of course Battlefield Portals, or Portal. That's where like you'll be able to like basically create your own map and game modes and cross game them. Like you'll be able to pull content from like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 1942, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, all the Battlefield games you'll be able to pull content from and make your own game and stuff like that. That's where I think this game
Ooh,
is going to shine a lot
that's
because
dope.
it's going to be unique and it's going to be taking that
Halo
like Forge,
Forge, what
right.
Halo can't do.
Yeah, it's
It's gonna
Halo
be
Forge,
Halo to
but like
Forge.
on steroids. Because you imagine if they like took
Yeah.
Halo Infinite and then like brought all of the content from like all of the Halos and be able to do whatever you want on any of them. That'd be pretty
Mhm.
cool. But my personal opinion on the from the beta was a lot of fun. I played like 2 matches because they are really long matches, especially when you're playing the big conquest mode. Like it takes fucking forever. Um,
Cool.
I do know what you mean with the whole bullet thing, but I realized it was me that it wasn't registering the bullets. Like it's super accurate. Like it's a super realistic game. Like it has like bullet drop, it has
Drop,
bullet
bullet speed.
velocity, like
Mhm.
it bullet speed. It's not Call of Duty. If
It's
I'm
not
aiming here, like
it's
you
not
got to reach
Valorant.
your shots.
It's not Valorant. Valorant is hit scan. This is
Yes.
not. So you gotta hit
Yeah,
you wherever your target is and you hit that's hit scan.
and then the
This is
recoil. If
you
you don't know how to
bullet
handle
scan.
the recoil, you're not going to hit shots. I promise you're not going to hit shots, and that's
Yeah,
realistic because
Battlefield.
if I take a gun and I'm shooting that shit full auto, I'm going to be inaccurate as fuck. That's why people would like to shoot them in bursts. That's honestly why they made the M16. M16 was
Mm-hmm.
a burst gun. It was a more accurate weapon. It was something that you could handle. They had the M4 carbine, which is just a different variant of the M16 technically, and it's close quarters primarily. It was made into an assault rifle later, but it's a close quarter gun. It had a short barrel. It was meant for what it was doing. So when I did go full auto, I'm here to here. I'm shooting you. I'm going to hit most of my bullets. So you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not looking outside. I'm like
yeah,
going.
exactly. Right. So like this game is definitely not Call of Duty. It's not that arcade style game. This is like
Mm-hmm.
legit, bro. When I was running through that shit and like planes were like coming down like real low, helicopters
Yeah.
flying, I was like, bro, this shit's crazy. And like the
Yeah.
shit was exploding, buildings are
And
falling, the
and
spaceship
this
was
is
exploding, the tornado coming in and shit like that. I was like, yo,
it's supposed to be a cross between a simulation and Call of Duty, if you will.
yeah,
Yeah.
Battlefield has always been that it's been a battlefield. It's not like close quarters skirmishes.
hmm
What Call of Duty's always been known for. It is that big 50 on 50 style map where you're
Mm-hmm.
playing, two armies are meeting
Yeah, yeah, I
head
got
to
you.
head. You know, the maps are completely different, and you're dealing with
hmm
scales that are blown out of proportion.
Right. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, I think the beta is really good. There's some stuff they just need to work on. But it's a beta, and I understand why the game got delayed from October to November now.
Mm-hmm.
I see why. It just needs a little. That, and the thing is, it was a perfect time to release the beta. They understood that there needed work to be done, but now
Mm-hmm.
they know even more from this 5 day beta. Oh shit, we need to polish this. We need to work on this. We need to make sure this is good to go. By
Mm-hmm.
the time the release is in November, they're going to be good to go. It's going to be a solid game. I think. Super excited.
I hope but I'm really scared because I really did like Battlefield a lot. I like Battlefield Hardline and Battlefield 4.
Those are
Like
both good games. I agree.
I didn't like Battlefield. What was the next one? 5, or
Uh,
was it when it
one.
started at
Battlefield
1?
1.
Yeah,
Battlefield 1.
It's the
that
stupid
was
thing
fucking
ever.
stupid, and
World
I
War
didn't like
1.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
what they
do
should have
that.
called it.
Like, exactly. Like, don't do it. You went from 4 and then went to a. But either way, I didn't like 1. Like I played it, but I
I didn't
didn't.
like it either.
I didn't really like it. Mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Well,
one.
Battlefield 1 was actually not very good. It wasn't
Mm-mm.
reviewed very good. The community was really upset with
Neither
it.
was
So,
Battlefield 5 either.
yeah.
Which that one
Mm-hmm.
should have been called World or Battlefield 2 then at that point because it's World War
But like,
Two.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and and Battlefield, I'll be honest with you, Battlefield 4 was amazing. And
I loved Battlefield 4.
if this is anything like Battlefield 4,
It's
I'm
like
I'm sold.
it's like Battlefield 4, but like way better. Like I seen how you can
Yeah.
customize your guns like with the one button,
Yeah.
and that shit popped up in like a directional thing. You can go up, up, up. I want that. Like choosing your and you be switching the attachments right there. I'm like, bro, this shit's crazy. This shit's
Yeah.
insane. But one last thing here with Battlefield though, they're supposed to be handling cheaters in a very like unforgiving way. Like as soon as you get banned, like you're getting like perma banned no matter what. There's no warning. There's like you cheated, bye. And I was just like,
Like
that's
that though.
good. We need that because that's
Are they
a
hardware
major,
banning?
huh?
Are they hardware banning or just
I,
account
Okay.
banning?
I don't think they announced
Not
it. Like
hardware.
I would
It's
assume it'll be
hardware, they
hardware.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, in my opinion, pretty good.
Mm.
Very few, like, especially if you're on console. Like if anti cheat engine picks you up on a console, that's a problem because how were you caught in there? Like
Right.
computer's one thing. Valorant has picked up some software
Mm-hmm.
that we wouldn't have noticed is against terms.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as long as Battlefield lays out their terms, I'm all for a insta ban, perma ban.
Oh, absolutely. Warzone is plagued with all
That's why I
these
don't play it no more.
cheaters,
That's why, yeah, that's why we
bro.
stopped.
Bro. Not, but I don't understand why though. Like me and my team, like we used to play for dance, and like it was just plagued with like cheers. Like it'll be some wild shit that you'll see. And then went to rebirth. It's not as bad though. It's just
It's
a lot
not
more.
as bad.
It's not not as it's not as bad because like it's more filled with
Yeah.
sweaties, but sweats.
Sweats.
But like the cheaters, like I'll catch them like I'll say out of 5, maybe like 2 out of 5. You know
hmm
what I mean? So it's like I could deal with that. Verdansk, like out of every 10, 9 games I'm catching a cheater all the time, and I'm like, how do y'all have a game out for like what 2 years now?
And still
uh,
not be able to keep up with this.
Bro, and
it's
then the
about to be
crazy thing,
3, yeah.
the last this last one, season 6 update, they said they're gonna put an anti cheat, and she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You gonna wait till an update to put in an anti cheat when you've been complaining about this shit for 2 years?" Like,
They don't care about you, bro. They
oh,
don't
they
care.
really don't. They
They're
don't
making
give a.
money from you regardless.
Oh, it's crazy though.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. So yeah, I think that's big news though for Battlefield 2042. They're starting even before the game comes out. We know motherfuckers are gonna want to cheat in our game, so go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. Guess what? You ain't playing the game no more. You got to buy another system. Guess what? You can't buy another system because there's shortages of them. So it's a lose lose
Play
situation
something
for
else,
them.
buddy.
Yeah, go play Call of Duty or go play Halo because they'll all be out at that time. But moving on here to another company, Nintendo. Nintendo got some good news recently. We're gonna start off with a rumor that we kind of alluded to before in past episodes a couple months back. The Nintendo Switch Pro rumor is coming back, and it's because apparently developers were recently given a 4K kit. Roger, is this going to be a real thing? Is this going to be something we see soon?
I don't know. It's really probably we're probably gonna see something. We know the OLED does not support 4K. If developers getting 4K a 4K system or 4K kits to build these systems, then it's clearly we're going to have 4K at some time during the lifetime of the Switch. So that means at this point we are going to get a new Switch model because the OLED does not support 4K from my understanding.
Hmm.
It only supports up to what 2K
Yeah.
1080p docked.
Right, and who knows? Because honestly, apparently the original Switch couldn't connect Bluetooth to it, but they turned on that feature out of nowhere. It was already built into the damn game, the system, and they added that. But apparently, also according to the news, is that the OLED Switch's dock when it can support output 4K at 60 frames a second. So maybe this is a sign that that they're going to somehow either bump the OLED up to 4K, it's already ready, or they're coming out with a 4K switcher, just trying to make sure that the dock is good to go. There are no issues with it and whatnot. So it'd be very curious. But Meech, do you have a Switch?
Oh yeah, of course.
Of
Of
course.
course. But I'm not gonna say until you I play. The only game I play on the Switch is Mario Party, like anything Mario related
Hmm.
will be what I play. Do I really feel like the 4K is necessary for the Nintendo? Not at all. Because I feel like Nintendo Switch is one of those games that it's for your family. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like for like, or if you have your boys come over, yo, you trying to play Mario Party, have a game night or something. I don't feel like the 4K is
I'm usually
necessary.
drunk, too drunk to understand what's
Yeah,
going on the screen, let
yeah,
alone
most
figure out if that's
definitely.
4K or not.
I feel like Nintendo Switch, like I feel what they're trying to do, they're trying to stay in the game and try to stay relevant. But
Hmm.
like you literally just dropped a new model less than a year ago. And you're gonna tell me you're gonna try and drop another model and your new model didn't sell as much. You know what I mean? And then I feel what they should
Just
try to do is add the 4K. Like I don't think it's possible, but like anything can happen. See if you can add an update to where you could mess with the firmware and the firmware in the system, so you could support 4K. I feel like it could be possible, but like I don't think it's needed though.
right. My whole thing with the whole
Yeah.
4K is obviously we know like Nintendo doesn't need 4K because like Mario doesn't need to be in 4K. But I think the whole idea with 4K gaming is so they can have more third party games come over to their system because we all know Nintendo's never been known to have third party games that like a lot of them they eventually come over later. Like think about it, The Witcher 3 came over there like for like 8 years later, and it's a downgraded version. It doesn't look that good on the Switch. But you imagine them if they had a Switch that supports 4K and people want to play that as their main console with like The Witcher 3 or whatever game that actually looks good.
Well,
Why
and that's
not?
the thing. The Switch is readily accessible, cheaper, and if it does the same thing now, if it's keeping up like, not as well, but close to as an Xbox or
Mhm.
PS5, I think it's awesome. I think third party might start coming to the Switch because then it's also you can play the game on the go, and if you're docked, it'll go up. It'll tune itself up just like if
Mhm.
you're on a PC. You can change your graphics.
Hmm.
Which will be dope. But like again though, you have to also put into consideration who all has a Switch though. You know what I mean? Because like
Hmm.
if you're many hardcore gamers are not gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna get the Switch so I can play,
Oh
let's
yeah,
say, Grand Theft Auto just for shits and giggles. No one's getting that. They're gonna get like actual content. Like Nintendo's known strictly for
Party games.
Mario, yeah, party game, Mario games, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right, but we also got to think about where the Switch is primarily marketed in that eastern regions with
Yeah.
like Japan and China and
Yeah.
whatnot. And
Now,
this might be an avenue for third parties to be able to get their games
Mhm.
to these people because their main console is a Switch. So they're never going to
Yeah.
play the main games that come out third party.
Ooh.
So now they have a system that supports 4K. I can play a game that looks good other than PC. I know they probably all have PCs, but now they have a mobile version of it too that can probably do
and
1440p.
and
Why
I
not?
think the other thing we're going over here is there are a lot of first party Nintendo games that look amazing. Like, let's be
Hmm.
honest, Metroid Prime's still out there. Maybe it
Oh
got
yeah, yeah.
delayed for 4K.
Right? Yeah.
Ooh. Well, you got
Breath of the
Metroid,
that.
Wild
because it's
2 is on
Metroid
the
Prime
way.
4, right?
Yeah,
Oh, you imagine the name that they can come up with,
Metroid
Metroid
Prime
Prime
4K.
4K.
Yeah.
Like they're really
Well,
good at
but
that kind of stuff. They did that with the
that's the thing.
N64 games. You think about it.
Hmm.
Oh, like Mario 64, Donkey
64.
Kong
Yeah.
64. Like it was the first like 3D game. They're naming
Yeah.
it after the
Mhm.
system. So,
And I think the other thing to keep in account is we've got Breath of the Wild 2. We've got Hyrule Warriors. We've got all these games that aren't
Mhm.
just Mario. You know,
right.
you've got all these other game series out there that 4K would be amazing.
Like
I would
Fire Emblem. Like imagine a 4K Fire Emblem
yeah,
game. That would be pretty
Yeah.
dope.
yeah. Any one of the games to hit the Switch that isn't
Xenoblade.
Mario.
Xenoblade would be pretty cool to see in 4K.
All these
That would be
games,
dope.
all these games that we don't always think about right away with the Switch that are only on the Switch
Hmm.
in 4K. That's going to be awesome.
Right.
If
And
Breath of the
and
Wild
honestly,
2
I
and
didn't even
Metroid
notice
4,
how impressive the OLED was going to be. Me and you both were downplaying it. We're like, it's just
uh,
I'm still
I
kind of feeling
I
that
said,
way. It's not
yeah,
worth the
I
upgrade
said
if you
it's
already
a
have a Switch, but
that's exactly my
but
point. That's
seeing
what
the
I said on our last talk.
seeing the quality on the OLED Switch, like how vibrant and how bright the colors are,
Yeah.
and we know Switch and Nintendo games are bright, vibrant,
Yeah.
colorful games. So it just made sense for them to have an OLED, and then making those games look that much more beautiful. The
Mhm.
OLED's doing that. You imagine if they had a 4K OLED disc. Oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And that's what I kind of said last time. I said the OLED, if it's what price it is, it's a good console. If
Mhm,
you're looking to get a Switch, it's great for new people. And if you want to upgrade, like sure, if you want to sell your Switch to somebody and upgrade to it, yeah, it's worth $200 to me to
mhm,
Mhm.
upgrade. So I honestly I called it earlier. I said this is just the step in the next direction they're going.
mhm,
And
Yeah.
I think we'll probably see 4K and who knows, maybe the OLED supports it. They just haven't announced it yet. And they're just
Mm.
going to toggle it like we said.
I tell you what, that
Turn
would
that
be
bitch
fucking
on.
insane if they do that shit.
Well, and I would actually be ecstatic if that happened.
Right, because then getting it at that price range then too for $50 more than the regular Switch to be a
Yeah.
4K capable machine, that's
Mhm.
insane. I mean
Yeah.
that's it's tremendous.
But you have
'Cause-
to also remember, not everyone's gonna have like a 4K TV though.
yeah, we're
That's
almost
also
in that
the
mark.
other thing.
We're almost at that point where most people have a 4K TV because getting a 4K TV is very easily to get. It's just whether you're getting one that's going to support 120 hertz and all that other stuff that
Oh
the Switch
yeah,
doesn't need anyway. So you can go buy a 4K 55-inch TV for like $200 or less. Like you can go get one. But is it going to have the characteristics that you want? Is it a smart TV? Is it 120 hertz? Is it
oh yeah.
all these other features? Does it support HDR? Does it have Adobe Atmos or Adobe Vision? No,
Mhm.
but you can get one that has 4K, a 4K resolution. It's just not going to be the best quality. It's your low end budget 4K TV.
Yeah. And it's going to be something like a knockoff Chinese brand, but you'll get
It'll be like a
it.
Hensingson or like I don't know what those other ones are that they'd be selling at like Best Buy and stuff.
Yeah.
Those like cheap ones.
But moving on here within the realm of Nintendo, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Have you seen what semi disaster is coming down the road?
Oh, don't do that. Don't say that.
What?
What
It's a it's just it's an on fire vehicle coming down the highway. Is all I'm saying. like
Oh
you think
Jesus.
it's that bad?
we saw Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild looked pretty all right. And then they gave us a teaser for Pokemon Legends Arceus, and the thing looks like you're playing in some dude's college programming project. The map is barren and all this other stuff, but it's kind
Oh,
of also like Dark Souls meets Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Like you
Yeah,
can fight the Pokemon yourself. Like you're dodging and throwing
Yeah.
berries or rocks at it, and then you're like, then you throw your Pokemon out, and then they have an actual battle, like your classic turn-based
yeah, I
battle.
think that's really weird that the Pokemon are attacking you. Like that was
Right.
never known in any of the other games. Like you rarely seen it in the shows unless they were like possessed or like some shit
Yeah.
happened. Like there was
Well,
no
Wild Pokemon always attacked people. Remember, Mankey beat the shit up out of
yeah,
Ash all the time.
He
right, but
definitely did. Whooped his
they
ass.
were like very random. Like they weren't all the
Uh,
time.
yes and no. There's a lot of times that Pokemon will attack people. They just technically always had Pokemon with them. So then Pokemon would
Yeah,
just fight Pokemon. You
right.
know.
But yeah, but they did announce like there's an encountering noble Pokemon. So Roger, what are they? What are the noble Pokemon?
So we've had these like instead of legendaries at this point, they're sort of like a different version of a legendary, I guess. There's
Mm.
now a new evolved form of Scyther.
Hmm.
Instead of going into Scizor, it can go into Cleavor, and Cleavor is a rock bug instead of a steel bug because of the time period. Steel isn't really a thing in Japan at this point. Yeah, they have katanas and other things technically in this time period, but
Mhm.
it wasn't really like mass-produced steel. Rock, so they decided to make a new evolved form for Scyther called Cleavor.
I know damn well I'm not that drunk. The fact you just said that there's no steel in this time period is
Not really.
that's
It,
wild.
Because you
yeah,
got to
well,
think about it. Arceus is actually
it's back in time.
like it's back in time. Because look at the Pokeballs
It's
that are going to
feudal
be in this
Japan.
game.
It's feudal Japan.
Like the Pokeballs are like wooden. That's what they look
Yeah,
like.
steel isn't really mass-produced at this point. To have steel, you have money.
Uh, what kind of what kind of fucker is this? You see the damn Pokeball dog?
That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
man.
I wasn't lying to you.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, I am curious though. Like going along lines though here with the noble Pokemon, I'm curious to see what other ones there are going to be in the game because this ain't going to be the only one. This is like their new versions or types or whatever you want to call them of Pokemon. Because the only one that they have announced right now is Cleavor.
Mm. Like I'm looking at the like the images and whatnot. I'm like it reminds you of like the one of the Pokemons that just dropped, like Pokemon. I think it's like Eevee or Pikachu or whatever that
Let's
dropped for the
go.
Yeah, let's
Switch.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, like it reminds you of that. Like, and my daughter, like, she was playing that, and I'm like, I was just sitting there watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is like a good game to play, like if you're just out on the road, on a long car ride or whatever. But like, I'm definitely not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I'm gonna get it. 'Cause I'm probably not.
I
Like the
mean,
last,
it's an open world Pokemon game. Is the idea behind it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon. And don't get me wrong, the last one, Sword and Shield, they were kind of open world
Yeah,
in the
kind
same
of
sense. If you ran into a Pokemon, you started a Pokemon fight instead of actually
attacking.
fighting them. Yeah,
Hit them with rocks.
yeah, hit them with the rocks and be
The fuck
like,
is that
"Ah,
gonna
pissed
do?
it off."
I pissed it off. Oh man! But speaking about being pissed off, Switch or Smash added its last official character, and it's Sora. I know some people were excited, but me personally, where it was not. But Roger, what's your thoughts on Sora being added to Switch? Is this what you
what?
wanted?
What I wanted, I didn't honestly at this point. I was fine with most anything as long as it wasn't another Fire Emblem character. For God's sakes, I did not want another Fire Emblem character. I'm happy with this. Honestly, I think it's a fun addition to me.
Hmm.
I have nothing wrong with it, nothing bad to say about it. I know a lot of people are upset because they're like, "Oh, they got sword. It's another sword character." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, dude.
Hmm.
I don't care." Like, I think the character was just fine. I don't think it was a bad addition. What is your thought?
uh,
What would you have liked to see?
I feel like we like character wise, I'm cool with Sora. However, I feel like there's a lot of stuff they could have added to make the game 10 times better. For example, like they could have added in game chat. They could have added in where they could have added like shit like that game chat to where like if we're fighting, I could talk shit. You know what I mean? I feel like
It's a family
like I know
friendly
that
game.
sounds bad, but like like they need to add stuff to like they need to keep up with the times right now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like when I
Well,
played, you got to download an app or whatever onto your phone for you to talk to people. Like I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, for this one, I'm not really that worried about because we may see more updates come to it, just no more characters.
Yeah, but like I feel like they could have added something more with the character though. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
I feel like with every character that like they added, I don't quote me, but maybe like I think like 20 extra characters. I may be wrong.
15, I think. This is the third
I
battle
was
pass, I think.
okay. I
I
wasn't
have
that
no
far
idea.
off. But like I feel like they could have added more stuff to it because I see the characters, that's cool, but that's not enough for me as a player. That's not enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm about to pick this game back up. Like I'll dabble into it, but I'm not going to be here and saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play this because they added story. Like no, I feel like they need to add more to it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
each character, you should add something more to the game as an update. That's just my opinion, but people thought I was crazy.
Is there a character that you would have rather have seen over Sora?
Mm,
Oh shit, it's only 10 characters. This is only the second battle pass. So yeah, they stopped at 10 extra characters. You
okay.
know what?
Maybe
Or
three
sorry,
people.
12.
Maybe three I could think off the top of my head right now that I would like to see them. I like to see them add maybe Halo. That would be dope.
Master Chief, yeah.
Master Chief,
That's who
yeah.
I thought it was going to be.
God of War. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Kratos. You know, and maybe like
But
mm,
then again, we have to talk about licensing here too, because like
Hmm.
Kratos, for example, he would have never made it because that's Sony and not really
yeah,
But that
but
doesn't
Nintendo. So
they added him to Fortnite, so
I'm oh,
well, yeah,
mm,
Fortnite has big money.
everybody.
yeah,
Yeah,
and so like, but it'd
But
be
so does
something
Smash
cool to
does.
add. But I feel like Smash should also been like one of those games you could add like a whack, like some way out of left field. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
and I feel like that would have brought back a lot of player base.
I'm a fan of Sora over Steve and Alex though. They brought in the Minecraft characters. They brought Sephiroth, and I was like, eh. They
Hmm.
brought people from they brought Pyra and Mithra and Min Min from like a bunch of their Switch games, and I was just like,
Yeah,
eh. It didn't. There were better choices, I feel, but for
absolutely.
me, Sora was fine. I thought that was actually a really unique pick versus some of the things they've already brought.
That was different. I like the move base they gave Sora because I watch it and I was like watching like people use them. I'm like, oh okay. I liked
Hmm.
his ultimate. He has like a little keyhole he puts you in. It's over. I'm like, that's real dope. Like they really put the time and effort into it. But
Hmm.
I'm hoping now because I feel like now since they added like their last character, so they say I feel like they hit like their ceiling now.
Hmm.
Because where do you go from here? And it goes up to what I was saying, like now you need to add stuff to the actual game now.
What are we going to see here? Are we going to see another Smash game, or are we going to see, this game just go under the radar and be a tournament game for the next 5 to 10 years where they just do balance changes?
Well, I feel like they'll be stupid if they make another Smash game if they don't just add on to this.
Yeah,
Because
I'm surprised that they've stopped with these 11 or 12 characters that they've added.
no, because like actually, this actually goes to what I was gonna say. Because me and Vic, when we was in too many games, right? I seen what was the game? The Nickelodeon All Star game,
That
and
shit looks really fucking good.
I was saying like if they make this game as great as it looks, there's no reason for you to make another one because Nickelodeon, you have so many characters you can add. You could literally just update the graphics for every new gen. There's no reason to buy another game. And then like with Super Smash, like you had Super Smash Brawl, you had Super Smash Melee, and it's like all the same characters.
Hmm.
Like now we're like in a time where you could add like different characters from different games, but realistically, it was literally the same game, just different maps every single time.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I
So
agree.
I'm hoping like with this now they have no more no more characters to add. They actually add on some development to add the actual game and actually possibly add like esports scene to it. Cause like
It's
without
one of the
that,
biggest games in esports.
bro, and they don't, and Nintendo doesn't follow them or like give them money towards it or nothing. It's literally people that do, I think it's like called grassroots. They'll do stuff like that and like have it online to where people can be like, all right, we're having this tournament this day, and like Nintendo does nothing to help them, which is wild to me.
No, yeah, for sure. But moving on here to our last topic, though. Unfortunately, there's some more bad news. But Twitch was hacked. Roger, what all went down when this happened?
So it turns out there was a kit that was left out there on the dark web for a little bit, and some people used it finally. And so Twitch, we know, is partnered with or bought by Amazon. I
Amazon.
can't remember.
Yeah,
But
They own it or are they partners? I
Amazon
can't
owned, is
remember.
it?
mhm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So Amazon owns Twitch, and so Amazon, being what it is, got didn't really take care of Twitch. Somebody hacked it, and we got a roster of the top like 100 paid Twitch people, and their
Yeah,
total
appreciate the
revenue
host, JD.
for a year alone. We've got we also got a list of potential Amazon integrations. Like Amazon was actually trying to build a Steam killer.
Hmm. Okay,
Mm.
They had their
curious.
own gaming marketplace to go up against Steam and Epic Game Store.
Ooh, did not
Yeah,
know that.
Yeah, I didn't
yep,
know about
that
that
was in
either.
there. Everyone's e- every user, their stream keys were leaked in plain text.
Hmm.
Mm.
So somebody can just take your stream key and start streaming on your channel right now if you haven't already changed your password.
And actually,
Because if
Twitch
you
actually
change your
updated it automatically for you.
okay,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did
they
they
sent
update
out
it
an
for
email
you.
the other day.
yeah. So if you weren't quick, they could have started streaming to your platform
Mm-hmm.
without issues. Any payment information that you use to pull money from your Twitch, that also got compromised. So
Hmm.
a lot of things went out that
And they leaked out
shouldn't
all
have.
of the how much all the big streamers make too.
That
Even
yeah,
though like that's not none of my business, but it was crazy to see those numbers personally.
yeah.
Bro,
Like a streamer that I watch, was Pay Money Wubby. Every so often I'll watch him, and I didn't realize he's in the top 50 paid streamers on Twitch.
Hmm.
mm,
Yeah.
the money that these folks
But
are
but
getting.
all those guys deserve it though, man. Like it's really hard to create a fan base and then keep a fan base.
For
Continue to
years.
yeah for years to keep them coming back.
Mhm.
Like they are obviously wanting to watch you play a game for a reason. Like there's
Well, and
thousands
it's not only
of
that.
people out there.
These people, like some of these people, don't game. Like Pay Money Wubby, for example, he's just a content creator who does dumb shit,
Hmm.
Mhm.
But
and
that's
that's
why
it.
but people
Yeah,
go to watch him because of the dumb shit he does.
yeah, and it's crazy what some of these people do. But yeah, so if you weren't aware, you might want to change your password. You might want to double check your payment information, things like that.
Change your
Just be
password and all
aware.
that stuff, basic stuff that you
Mhm.
should do. But yeah, that shit was crazy. It's crazy to see when that shit broke. I was just like, man, what is going on right now? Because this all happened like in the same week when Facebook went down. Well, basically, Google and Amazon was actually down. Is their part of their servers is what led for Facebook and everything to go down. I was just like, at any given moment, that's how fragile like society can really be because we rely on technology and the internet so much that any given moment, see ya, that's just going.
You ain't fucking lying. It's terrible though. Like when Twitch got hacked, I'm like, damn, all this money that y'all make, and you tell me like y'all couldn't do anything to make sure that our shit's not taken. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like, is it's just so sad that you do that. That nothing. That they just let shit like that happen though.
Hmm.
But I wonder if they're actually going to do anything to make sure that it doesn't happen again, though. That's really what the big question is. Because any moment, like if they get hacked again, it's going to be a real big problem.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's been a thought in my mind. I was like, "Ooh, is this time for me to switch from streaming on to Twitch to trying to stream on like YouTube and stuff like that and try to build that up?" But I was just like, "Man, I have a lot invested into Twitch right now, so it's kind of hard. It's not easy for me to go. All right, I'm going over to YouTube now." So it's definitely not easy, but it's definitely been a thought in my mind.
I mean, that would be only liable competition you could really go to because
Right,
no one's going to Facebook gaming. Like no one's going over there.
right. I can miss Mixer though, really do. Mixer was so
Oh,
easy and simple and just worked.
mm-hmm.
But
It's so terrible that they really let that come and just go to shit.
right, exactly. They were like, yeah, we're just gonna close the doors. It's not working. Like it's not working because it's built into Microsoft. It's built in only for Xbox. Like that's why it didn't work. You had a streaming service that only worked for one console. Like it may have
At
worked for
that.
the PC, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But it didn't work on PlayStation, so you're missing out on a pretty big player base. There's more PlayStation users out there than there is Xbox, and that's just a
Really?
fact. Oh yeah, by far. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, the
Oof.
PS4 outsold the Xbox by a lot. and the PS5 is outpacing the Series X and S combined. I mean, but if you want to group
Oh,
into PC with Xbox, then obviously there's more of them
yeah, yeah.
because it's the same company, it's the same thing, more or less.
Mm.
But if you break them up, yeah, PlayStation has way more. Even the PS3 ended up catching the Xbox 360 at the end of that generation. And obviously, we all knew about the PS2. The PS2 was the most sold console of all time.
Oh, absolutely. Man, I really want PS2 again, dog.
You know me. I was almost pulling that
He's
trigger today.
ready.
I almost pulled the
Listen,
trigger on it.
you should have done it because I'll fuck around and come over your house just to play PS2, dog.
There's so many great games on the PS2. But yeah, man, I think that's enough of our gaming topics that we got this week. And I feel like we were going to have a lot longer of an episode, so I actually decided to throw on our deep freeze moment of the week. So here's the question for y'all: would you rather deal with a zombie outbreak from Call of Duty or from Left 4 Dead? I'm gonna start with you, Roger.
Um, I'd say probably Left 4 Dead because we're not dealing with alternate dimensions, science, and people going nutty. We're just dealing with a basic zombie outbreak. But then again, in Call of Duty, if we're dealing with a Call of Duty zombie outbreak, it's typically pretty well contained. Like the world goes on spinning around you somewhere else, but
Right.
wherever you are, it's kind of a localized outbreak.
Hmm.
So both have their benefits, but probably Left 4 Dead, because at that point we're dealing with a real post-apocalyptic scenario,
Right. Yeah,
you
basically
know,
the entire world went to shit in
and
Left 4
for the
Dead.
most part, you're not dealing with too much crazy zombies.
Hmm.
They're rarer than normal zombies, I
Oh
would say.
hell no!
Right. You get the witch and you get the big fat dude and
What's
all
wrong?
the.
Don't walk towards the witch. All I'm saying.
Oh the hell! No, I'm not dealing with that shit. I'll deal with Call of Duty zombies all day. You know why? Because you at least you know that they're all literally gonna be the same thing. Like every now and again, you maybe get something crazy like a zombie dog. I
Uh,
got
All,
that.
all I'm saying is, but what about a mimic? You sit on your toilet to take a shit, and then all of a sudden you're dead.
It's a mimic.
It's a mimic. You're dead. You're fucking dead. All right. Just saying.
Or
I'm
like the dude
not,
with the
dog.
flamethrower and the astronaut suit, and he like comes crashing through your house like, "I'm here, motherfucker!" Like, oh shit.
Just like person.
Oh hell no!
Great.
Oh
Yeah, like
hell
zombies. Yeah,
no!
that would be crazy. Like, I would probably have to agree it's a lot easier and a lot more simple if I had to deal with like a Left 4 Dead zombie apocalypse. But I think Call of Duty would just be a lot of fun, just with like the futuristic weaponry. Like honestly, I'm just gonna
Ray
just use
gun.
like the features from the game, like being able to drink soda and
Yeah,
have like more special abilities, get these superpowers and stuff like that. I think that's
that'd be
really
some
cool.
dope shit though.
Hell yeah, and then like be able to
That'd be
boost
some
your
dope
power
shit.
of your gun with this like this wonderful machine called the Pack a Punch. Like it'd be pretty
Right?
cool to actually have in real life, honestly.
You fuck
Like
around and see. Oh, I see this box. This mission box. Let me see what gun I get. Oh, the ray gun. I'm start shooting motherfuckers. That'd be some dope shit.
hell
But
yeah.
that'd be some scary ass shit though. Cause I don't want to deal with no zombies, dog.
I mean,
You
honestly,
know,
I'd rather deal with like a
I'd
zombie
rather just sit here.
apocalypse.
I'd
I rather,
rather just be sitting here playing a video game, to be honest. I
yeah,
don't know
than
about
actually
you.
dealing with it. I mean, honestly, if I had to choose one like in TV or movie, I would have to deal with The Walking Dead because that's legitimately like simple as it can get. There's zombies.
I
There's no
mean,
special zombies. There's nothing different. It's just survival, like real life. If someone just turned
yeah, I
into a
can deal with
zombie,
that.
like that's a lot more simple. But if it was like World War Z zombies, oh no, I'm good.
Oh yeah, hell no. Yeah, I'm the fuck out of here, dog. Just kill
or
me.
or I Am Legend. Them zombies was crazy,
Oh yeah,
but I think they were
yeah,
part
kill me, dog.
vampire. I think is what I was told, but they're zombies to me.
They were fast as hell, dog. They were
They're
strong as
vampires.
shit. They're strong as shit, fast as hell. Yeah, just kill me, dog. I'm not fighting with y'all. Especially at night. And if I don't have the fortress he had, where he had to lock up all the windows and doors, yeah, it's over for me.
Oh yeah,
Not dealing with
facts,
y'all.
facts. But any more thoughts or comments on the zombie outbreak at all?
No, I don't got anything, dog.
It's all good. But yeah, man, I think it's time to close out this week's episode. So, any last comments or remarks from anything gaming related or anything you want to throw out there?
No,
Mm-mm.
man, I really didn't hear much about the Too Many Games conference so far, so hope to hear something next week or soon.
Hmm.
It
Yeah,
was
it
dope.
wasn't too much. It was more of like a just an expo where they're selling
Mm-hmm.
tons of old gaming stuff and newer gaming stuff too. I even saw an Xbox Series S in there. I was just like, ooh, I can buy this and resell it because he was only selling it for 300, and that's the price that it's being sold at. It's retail price, and I was really surprised to see it at that price. I was like, ooh, I can buy it and sell it for 500, but no, they want to do that. But It was pretty cool. We
What?
got to see the voice actor of Mario and
Yep.
Luigi and all them. He was there. That was really cool to see him. Um, it wasn't too much else that was really going on. It was just a bunch of vendors
Yeah.
and stuff.
It was nothing crazy. Like I feel like the too many games. It's like one of those like it was like an expo for like like people that that like cosplay. They'll come and do cosplay, like play older games.
Hmm.
Something like
It's a
it's cool.
convention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a no come. No, the only new game I see was the Nickelodeon's All Star Brawl, and they
Hmm.
weren't like really showcasing it. It was like people were playing it, and I just happened to like catch it. They weren't
Yeah.
like
It was
saying like,
pretty cool.
oh, there's like oh this game's over. There's nothing crazy like that, but it's like one of those things like you'll go just see if you want to buy some artwork, and you see like we did see like an indie game developer.
Yeah.
The
It was
game was
pretty
like
cool.
called Previous Pluto. It's gonna be on Steam. Like I have to like it's one of those. It's a story based game. It reminds me
It was a
of
visual novel, Roger.
yeah. It reminds me of I think Mass Effect. Like if you say something to one person, it affects the rest of the game. It's like one of those types of games. And like when we were there, I was trying to like watch it, see if I get to the action, see what I can do. But like the story was like so long. Like I was reading through, but I was like I know I have to sit there and read it. But if you're an indie gamer, like this would be a good place for you to go to showcase your game
Hmm.
and try and build connections and stuff.
No, it was really cool to actually talk with them. We built a connection with them. We exchanged information and stuff, and they're actually wanting to do a collaboration with me. So whether I have pieces, get them on this podcast, or get them into a nice interview for the shoot to win as well. So it'd be pretty cool to see. Because I told them I do want to do a game review. I would love to check their game out and give them a game review. Because I doubt small indie games like them probably get much visual, any kind of media that goes and
Hmm.
talks to them and honestly wants to review their game. And the game looked cool. The art style was cool.
Hmm.
The visual novels, I've been getting into those recently, and I really enjoy them because, like I was telling them, it's really nice to just be able to just sit back and relax and play through a game,
Yeah.
but like you're watching a movie in a way. It's like a weird feeling, but it's cool. It's a nice laid back
Ooh,
experience. It's not like I'm trying to
I
sweat
got
through
it.
Valorant.
I got a game for you, Vic. Remind me, like DM me at this get you that game. But there's a game I feel like you will like. It's like a visual. It's like a game that you're watching a movie. Like
Okay.
I need to remember the name so I can tell you because you'll like it.
Okay. Cool. Cool. But yeah, overall the experience was great. I ended up buying the shirt, bought like a painting for my girlfriend, and that was really cool. Actually, I think it's right here. Yep, it's a Frozen painting, so it's pretty cool. So they had
Hmm.
some nice artwork there as well. That was nice to check out. Did get some pretty cool like drawings of different characters. That guy like draws in like circles and scribbles, and it turns out to look like something. And I'm like, bro, there's no way. There's no way that happens. But yeah, overall the show was great. I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely looking forward to going back to it. I'm looking forward to future and bigger events as well. Like I know we're planning to go to Pack East in February,
Ooh,
so hopefully we can all plan that soon. But nonetheless, definitely want to shout out Meets for coming on to us. Thanks for joining our
yes,
show today
sir.
for sure.
No problem, dog. No problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Hopefully you'll come back on. We love bringing on special guests. Repeat. Don't matter how many times you're on here. Come on the show if you got some free time. But definitely want to
Absolutely.
shout out the viewers, live stream, everybody who checked us out live and later on YouTube. Thanks for checking us out. If you want to check it out live every Sunday at 7 p.m. But Meech, where can we find you at, man? Plug in like your social medias, anything you want to shout out
Oh,
there.
don't do that because I already have to think. My social media, Twitter, Black, it's terrible. Blackjack, BLACKJCK 716 for everything from Twitter to IG, and that's pretty much why that's where you can find me at.
Cool. And what about you, Roger?
Everyone already knows. Down below, it's lunatic_oblivion. You can find me on Twitch.
And of course, everyone can check me at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin'. Underscore and then Xbox is X Never Space Chilling. Want a game party up? Hit me up. Facebook is Vic Brubacher. Questions, concerns, you want to even come on the show? Let me know. Or if you even have any questions that you want us to talk about during like the deep freeze moment, definitely send us those as well. And then of course I have my Twitch channel / Mr. Never Chillin'. Not streaming on there for a while until I get this channel up and going. But definitely want to thank everyone again. But until next time, peace.
Peace.
Yes.